Hello trading champions. This week I'm coming to you from the vibrant landscapes of Southeast Asia, as you may or may not know, ready to unveil a unique perspective that's been brewing in my trading mind. Barons and kings, some of you will know about that. Well, I am authoring a book, and as we kick off the year, let's explore three major headlines gracing the front pages of newspapers. Through the lens of history and my pioneering thesis, we'll decipher the behaviors of governments, the powerful elite, and the intricate dance of money, taxation, and the pursuit of power. Join me as we unravel the rich tapestry of the world's financial secrets and navigate the markets with a wisdom that transcends the conventional. Get ready for a mind-expanding journey. This week is nothing short of special, as usual with Unities. As well as that, well, we're going to look and do an in-depth analysis that you may or may have not seen me do before. So stick with me. We'll be looking at America's top 500 companies essentially, and stick around for that. Well, without further ado, let's get started. I'd like to cover a few things. Of course, welcome to our new subscribers. Fantastic to have you on board. And I'd like to talk a little bit about the life in our live trading room and what you can expect. So without further ado, let's take a look together. Why don't you take a look at what's on your screen right now, and I'll talk you through our live trading room. Of course, in this area under alerts over here, you'll see that I leave a lot of notes, comments, trades, options to trade, possible opportunities for you. So please make sure that you log into this room whenever you want to in your own time. You'll find me in the room live trading with you and other professional retail traders on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, that's New York time, up to about 11 o'clock a.m. on those days every week. Then the idea is between Friday and Monday we recap the week, and I'll bring you a digital copy of what is happening, what you need to know, and that will be posted to YouTube, and it will be dropped the alerts in the alerts area, the actual link to that video on YouTube for you, so that you can always stay in touch with the room and know what I'm thinking and what the heartbeat of the trading room has been all week. Of course, we would prefer to see you live in the room, but we understand busy life, etc., etc. Also, when you log into the room, you can see on the home screen over here, if somebody's not sharing a screen, this is the Welcome Pro Trader screen. You can click on this video and you will get an overview of the kind of thinking when I share a chart with you, what we'll be doing in 2024. And well, above all, we're going to have a great 2024, aren't we? Also, of course, if you're in the room, you'll know that we've got a main chat tab. That's where all the pro traders speak to one another and all speak to me, asking me about relevant trades that they may be interested in, that I've covered, etc., etc. Off topic, of course, we ask that all off topic chit chat in the room is essentially done under that off topic tab, so that we can keep the main chat tab about trading like professionals, essentially, right? If you've got any questions and you'd like to pose them to me or to any other trader who wants to answer those, I always take a look on a daily basis at that questions tab, and I will absolutely answer you. If you don't get an answer from me, of course, you can email me. You know my email details, and if you don't, again, ask in the room and it will be known for you to email me. As well as that, we've had some queries. For instance, folks, bank account details changing or debit card account details changing, etc. If anyone wants to sign up to the room again, of course, renew your payments, etc., or tell somebody about how to sign up to the Crypto Unities service, for instance, this over here is the universal resource locator or web address that we use for this room. And of course, when you go to the bottom of the page, which I'll show you in the next page how that all works out, you'll be automatically taken, if you click on a button, to this payment page where you can make your payment over there if you so wish. Well, as I said, if you click on the first link I showed you early on, it'll take you to this website, which basically covers an overview of what you can expect in the live trading room called Crypto Unities. And what we trade, of course, we look at derivatives, we look at the equities markets, and we are passionate about crypto and come at it from an angle that I can assure you is unique and not based on traditional finance. So you can't do what we do in the native without being in the native crypto environments. The second page, of course, if you scroll down over here and you click on the button at the bottom of the screen, you will get this page. And that's the page I'm talking about, where you can put your banking details in to renew subscriptions, etc., etc. Right? That's automated when you sign up. Gonna point out something else. Of course, we offer 3 different kinds of services. Our live trading room, which I've covered now, in partnership with the amazing Stephanie Kammerman, the Stock Whisperer. And we also offer workshops. And if you want to find out when those will actually be done or covered in the year, or when I'm planning to release it, of course, way in advance, you'll know if, of course, you sign up to our website. If you go to the bottom of the landing page, you will see this over here. Sign up there to be kept up to date with our latest workshops. And to say thank you, we'll give you 10% off, a 10% off voucher to use on our unique coaching product, which you can find over here, online bookings. Okay, there you'll see what coaching we offer, the price. You'll be able to sign up, pay for it there, and automatically book into a calendar, which books into my calendar, and it's all automated for you. Well, without further ado, let's take a look at what's been happening on the S&P 500 ETF Trust SPY from an institutional dark pool perspective. In other words, where big money is currently sitting with their orders. And then after that, I'm going to go into a special analysis for you, and potentially this will help you to see what's going on. Right over here you can see where we closed off on Friday. Closing candle over here basically being where you've seen this red box over here. Last 3 trade days, really just a range, that market holding and undecided. But I'm about to show you what the probability decision is and what it will look like, and more importantly, how you may want to trade it, right? This is the biggest orders that have come in the dark pool on the SPY ETF. These white dashed lines, I should say, represent these prints. You can read for yourself how big they are, the price levels they came in on the date, okay, they came in at. So basically the price just holding that area. Now a lot of people will be confused as to what to do with that information, and that's why I'm about to do what I'm about to do for you. Right, let's take a look at this chart together and I'll walk you through it. Effectively, on the 17th of August of 2023, we had price action starting, and really just coming off a bullish move over that summer, and then we saw that first decline really, then a move up, and this whole piece of price action over here, which incidentally is actually bearish price action. Yes, that's right, all of this is bearish price action. Why? Because of the underlying liquidity and what that tells me, and the price action itself put together. Of course, over here we saw a swing order block that pushed the price up to where we are right now. As you remember the previous chart on the 3 candles that I was talking about, that's where we are here. But what exactly is the price sitting there for? Well, it is a massive, represented by this area here on the chart. You can see red big bearish order block, and it represents large amounts of liquidity, large amounts. Okay, that is what moves markets. It's also a market premium zone, i.e. resistance at this moment in time, really looking like an upthrust type of call it price action, or the nature of which, when you look at volume and other things. Could we see price float up a few dollars from here? Certainly. But really, from a trader's perspective, from a risk reward perspective, I'm not going long at this time personally. And you know, if somebody wanted to go long, we did cover that in our trading room, and saying that would be the kind of thing that most of the world would be looking to do right now, or thinking. Well, not in Crypto Unities, and certainly not myself. Now, here's what I'm looking for. Not exactly expecting a move to come down to this bullish order block over here, which was the liquidity that lifted this market to where we are now. But we have got some fair value gaps, which you can see in these green boxes sitting right here. And we've also got a market equilibrium support area that is also confluent with gaps, price gaps in the market. Now, the first order of interest for me really is sitting in between this price area of 470.21 and 462.29 right here. Okay, and it sits here in a fair value gap. That is going to act as support as, of course, the price melts down. Okay, I have marked out on this chart with blue lines all the prices that are of interest. In other words, you can look at that as support areas going down, or targets essentially. That's the way I'm looking at it. And then, of course, being the person I am with a little bit of humor, you can see a waving hand. Well, that's kind of where I'm thinking the most logical places from here as a price action trader, trend trader, and trading with the liquidity in the market. We know that as dark pool as well, but of course liquidity can come from various sources. So I talk about liquidity and the dark pool being hidden liquidity. That's what it is. And now I'm expecting a corrective move now, and again coming down to this hand area. And of course, a date that is of interest to me is this end of month, beginning of next month period for that move to transpire. We could in that time period see some choppy price action, really effectively just moving around this market premium zone. That's all it's doing, is hugging either side of it, but not really making the move that I would expect is coming. Of course, if this bearish move does not transpire, that's when most people will be looking for a bullish entry at about 479 and looking for these targets over here. But again, from a risk reward perspective, I certainly am not looking at that trade myself. Well, without further ado, I'd like to cover something that really is in order here, that is specific to, of course, myself, Taz, and Crypto Unities, my company brand. And I would like to actually talk to you about some headlines that have come out in the first week of November. Because, of course, we always get media, and we always get governments and politics and noise in the marketplace. And, of course, we don't believe in that. We focus on the price action on the chart in front of us. But this, of course, thesis has allowed me to cover for my customers, my subscribers, those that I mentor, those that I coach, what's really happening in order to stay focused and not get sidetracked. So without further ado, I'm excited to bring you essentially a book that is in the making right now by myself, and potentially bring it to the market. But I assure you, as subscribers, you will be getting a special price on that before it even goes public. You will have the chance to read it. And yeah, let's take a look at what that looks like. There's a couple of headlines right there. You can read that for yourself. And let me tell you, when I frame that in the Barons and Kings thesis, not what you're being told in the news, not what you've been told by governments, but this is what I read into it through the Barons and the Kings. Of course, I'll expound more on that in the book, but here's just a little taster. Well, Mr. or President Xi sends condolences to Iran. Well, economic titans and institutional powers perspective. Governments leverage international events, you see, like terrorism, to control narratives and justify actions that may expand their power and influence. The chessboard of geopolitics continues. And then the other headline, of course, you see in front of you, brought to you in the first week, of course, by the New York Times, was Vision Gaining Ground. Well, institutional powers and strategic entrepreneurs' perspective. China's vision for a shared future reflects a diplomatic strategy potentially aimed at reshaping global power dynamics and securing economic interests, a play on the chessboard for greater influence. Economic upswing in cards. Okay, let's see. Well, economic titans perspective. China's economic prowess aims to strengthen its position on the global stage, aligning with the historical pursuit of economic dominance by kings and economic titans. Country rising in international order. Institutional powers perspective. The assertion of China's strength challenges Western projections, showcasing a power play. The institutional powers maintain their influence, adapting to challenges and retaining economic control. Technological breakthroughs. Well, strategic entrepreneurs and economic titans perspective. China's technological achievements signal its ascent to a dominant player. In the historical context, economic titans and strategic entrepreneurs have always sought to control cutting-edge innovations to maintain their superiority. Let's look at another set of newspaper headlines together. In fact, this was the China Daily that I'd seen these headlines for. And of course, what we'll do is now look at the New York Times. I beg your pardon, that was incorrect early on. It was not the New York Times I got those headlines from. It was in fact the China Daily newspaper from China. Well, here we go. New York Times, as per the Barons and the Kings. Here it goes. Are you ready? Well, exposing failures in Israel, they say. Well, institutional powers and economic titans perspective, truly, the failures exposed highlight the consequences of unchecked power. The economic titans in this context represent the government and the institutional powers of those who wield power without accountability. That's not good anywhere in the world. India's daughters, independent players perspective. The struggle of India's daughters against societal expectations reflects the ongoing battle between institutional powers imposing norms and independent players seeking individual agency. Fears of wider war in the Middle East, institutional powers and economic titans perspective. The potential for a wider war serves as a reminder of institutional powers and economic titans' historical tendency to use conflicts to extend their territories and power. Oil flows despite Red Sea risks. Economic titans perspective here again. The economic titans in the oil industry weigh the risks against the gains, showcasing their ability to navigate dangers for economic advantage, ladies and gentlemen, against what is best for the people that work for them, obviously. Sotheby's Art World Drama, Strategic Entrepreneur's Perspective. Accusations within the art world underline the manipulation of markets by economic titans. The strategic entrepreneurs seek to control valuable assets, using auctions as a battleground for wealth. And here's something from the FT Weekend. British Library cyber hit. Institutional Power's perspective. Here, the cyber hit on the British Library exemplifies the vulnerability of information, highlighting the importance of data control, a significant tool in the institutional powers and economic titans' arsenals. As we navigate the complexities of the digital era, the British Library cyber hit serves as a microcosm of the broader struggle for control, where institutional powers defend their legacy and emerging forces seek to rewrite the narrative. Resignation over climate retreat. Independent players' perspective. The resignation over climate issues reflects the ongoing battle between institutional powers favoring resource exploitation and independent players advocating for environmental preservation. Pilots urge better runway safety. Independent players' perspective. The call for improved runway safety mirrors the historical concerns of the independent players seeking protection against the risks posed by institutional powers and controlling airspace and infrastructure. Agave growers feel the chill. Subjugated workers and strategic entrepreneurs' perspective. The challenges faced by agave growers post-COVID-19 highlight the impact of economic shifts on subjugated workers and strategic entrepreneurs, showcasing the power dynamics in play within the agricultural industry and, in fact, the world. The story there highlights how this small business person made money selling agave, which of course is used in tequila, and more and more people in the lockdown were drinking more and more. Okay, and his business grew, or this entrepreneur's business grew, and the minute they went back to daily life at the stroke of a government's pen by their bequest, let's just say, his business was destroyed. How many people have been destroyed in business because of those decisions? Well, let me tell you something. This is the end of those headlines, but the beginning of The Barons and Kings, a book by me, Taz. Hopefully you'll join me in reading it when it's available. It will be released in the future. Still writing the pages, still some blank pages. And let me just say this. The kings, the governments of the world only have 3 focal areas. They will create money. They will control its supply and circulation, and they will earn taxation in order to expand their territories and their power, often corruptly and often through war. That's why we have looked for alternatives like Bitcoin, etc., etc., because you cannot beat them at their game. But the ultimate end of this book actually is about this. Don't try beat them at their own game. That is not how you win in this game. Read the book and find out how you have an advantage against them anyway, using the information they freely provide if you know how to use it. Well, we do, and we use just a spot of that, or a little bit of that, in our trading lives, as I've demonstrated just a little bit earlier. Of course, you can't get it all. This is only a highlight. Well, of course, wouldn't be able to actually end without saying Gary Gensler's begrudging Bitcoin ETF concession he said, "We did not approve or endorse Bitcoin." Well, they had to and were forced to by the court. The SEC chair said that the court forced his hand and that the agency's decision to greenlight a spot Bitcoin ETF doesn't signal support of that or any other digital asset. In fact, as you can see on the screen in front of you, he's gone to great lengths to tell everyone, this interview on CNBC, that the majority of tokens are securities, but he can't say which ones, and there are over 20,000. And so therefore, an unhelpful comment, and I think Gary is in for a hard time and a bruising. But of course he has to try save face. And so what we did is we sent him a lovely painting to hang in his office, as you can see over there. But anyway, on a serious note, let's take a look at the schedule in the room this week. Well, I, as I said earlier on, am in Southeast Asia. Unities is being brought to you from Southeast Asia at this moment in time, and I will be going on travels and in transit over Monday and Tuesday, in fact Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I will be back with you live trading in our room on Thursday. But I'm sure you might have a treat or two in the room whilst I'm gone with some of our other awesome, fantastic folks and instructors in the house. Did mention that to them, and basically said they can come onto the mic this week. So let's see. You could just be in for some surprise, right? Why don't you just pop into the room, have a chat to one another, see what's going on with your trades. And of course, this message is brought to you via YouTube so that you can be updated as to my thoughts. Always with you, even if I can't be live trading on a day or two of the week because of other business commitments that I have, or things that crop up in life. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful week, and keep your chin up, keep trading, and understand the difference between a gambler and a professional trader. Come and trade with us, and we'll show you how. This is Taz, signing off. Have yourself a fantastic day.